ladies and gentlemen, what you're looking at are ladybird beetles. And it is a ladybug, but this is an Asian bug. And more of them are being seen in the country. Um, some of them, they said, were purposely brought here, and some were not. And they are saying they are invading people's houses for the winter. They always try to look for a home to hibernate in and then leave in the spring. Now, they said they are attracted to light colors, and more people are seeing these things coming in clusters into their homes, and they'll be up on the ceiling or in different parts of their house. So if you haven't seen this, you may end up seeing this in the future. So I'm going to go ahead and play some audio for you here. And this is Mass Appeal, December 7th, 2020.
That by this time of year, dealing with bugs would be behind us. But nope. Now's the time for those little bugs that look like ladybugs to make their ways indoors for the winter. Natasha Wright from Bremen Termite and Pest Elimination is here to talk about what's known as the Asian Ladybird Beetle. Good morning, Natasha.
How are you, Patrick?
I'm all right. The name confuses me because I thought they were ladybugs.
They are ladybugs. So the full name is actually multicolored Asian ladybird beetle, but ladybirds are just ladybugs. So same thing.
That is a mouthful of a name. But why now? We're in mid-November. Why are we now having this issue with these bugs?
Well, ladybugs and at least the multicolored Asian ladybird beetle originally comes from Asia. And the problem that they cause over here is that in Asia, they would go to the light-colored cliff sides to spend the winter. They migrate to those areas. They got brought over here purposefully and accidentally, and they go towards light-colored houses because it reminds them of those cliffs. And they like to aggregate indoors and hibernate to survive the winter. So they're moving inside as the weather gets colder.
So you bring up a very interesting question. They go to the light, pardon the pun. So if I have a dark house or a dark business building exterior, am I less likely to get this infestation?
I think you're less likely if the building has low contrast. So if you have a really dark environment and a dark house against the dark environment, they're less likely to go to that than if you have a dark colored house against a light colored background or a light colored house against a dark background.
So now that these bugs are making their way into our homes, what kind of damage are they doing? What do I need to be aware of?
They don't cause any damage. The things that they cause are, well, one is annoyance, that they're just roaming around everywhere because it's actually too warm for them to go into hibernation. So they cruise around, they bother people. They do have the potential to bite if they get on you. And they have this fun ability that when you touch them, they give you this this brown fluid on your skin. That's actually the chemicals in their blood, and they bleed through their joints called reflex bleeding. So they can bleed on surfaces and actually stain them.
So that's the biggest issue, is not necessarily, causing, damage to a home, but kind of that bleeding thing on, drapes and couches and carpets and such.
Correct.
So how do we get rid of them?
Well,
don't eat one.
Since they're outside coming in, ideally, if you wanted to keep them from coming in, you needed to do exclusion. So if you have any gaps, cracks, crevices in your house, you need to exclude them prior to now. So now it's pretty much too late. You can do an exterior pesticide treatment around September to October, so that time's passed. If you have them in your house now, the best thing you can do is just vacuum them up.
So now, once they get in the house, will they then come back out in the spring? I mean, do they hibernate like a bear? They kind of sleep through the winter and then wake up in the spring and then cause more problems?
So let's assume they get into your house and they're in the attic or the basement, somewhere sufficiently cold enough for them to hibernate. They will not bother you in the winter. If they don't, like they get into a living area, then they're going to bother you right now. Assuming the spring comes and those that successfully hibernated or overwintered, it warms up, they're going to come back out and be a problem again in the spring. So you'll probably see them twice.
Very good. Well, Natasha Wright from Bremen Termite and Pest Elimination, want to thank you very much. Hopefully we don't have to talk bugs again until spring.
We hope so, but I'm on standby if you need me, Patrick.
Thanks, Natasha.
All right. So they are trying to look for a warm space, but the thing is they come in clusters, y'all. They come in, and sometimes the cluster size of them can be massive. So if you are in a location where it gets cold in the winter, then, you know, in some locations, not all, because I'm not seeing these things where I am, but I was reading a lot of people like in Massachusetts and Rhode Island and, you know, parts of New York, they are seeing these coming in their houses or crawling around on the exterior of their house. So some people are definitely spotting them. But y'all, please tell me what you think. It's like there's always some kind of infestation. It is crazy. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.